Good day, everybody. You got Jada here from Republika FM1, and welcome to another episode of Young Ones. In this episode, we are going to meet two more FOI youth ambassadors, and they are going to tell us what their programs are and how they plan to promote these programs towards the end of the school calendar that will be a constant, in their respective schools in the future. And of course, Young Ones Season 2 is in partnership with the FOI Youth Program. Let me introduce you to our co-host for the second season, Training Specialist 2 of the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program. Let's all give a warm round of applause to Daniel Echeverria.
Hello, Miss Jada. Hello, youth ambassadors that we have today. And hello, young ones. Welcome to the season 2 of this show.
Hello, Daniel, and thank you so much once again. I can't thank you guys enough for joining us in this season. Now, what does the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program have right now? Is there anything that you want to share or announce to everybody who's watching?
So first, I want to share something. So we're cooking something for the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program. So we're planning to include data management as one of our included trainings. So for the FOI Youth Ambassadors Luzon camp, we will actually we're just in the process of doing the partnership with the concerned organization. But yeah, I would just like to share it with the youth ambassadors that they will have a data management training on the way. And for those who are interested to be an FOI Youth Ambassador of their university, just email us at foi.pco@gmail.com. So that's it, Miss Jada.
All right. Thank you so much again. A special shout out to Yusek Chris Ablan for lending me Daniel for season 2. Okay, so Daniel, why don't you introduce one of the two students who will be joining us this afternoon or today?
Okay, so he's from the north. So he's an incoming medical student, BS Nursing Magna Cum Laude, and and student council president at University of Northern Philippines. So we'll be having Jed Tristan Quinto.
Hi, Jed. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jed, and I'm from Vigan City, Locsur.
All right. So we'll be talking to Jed later on and his experience. He's graduating this year. He's actually marching, literally marching. So we'll find out more about that later on. And next is if Jed is from the north, this one's from the south. So if you're watching Game of Thrones, the reference would be he's Jon Snow and this one's a Targaryen. Okay, he is the founder and executive president at Bicol University Hosting Guild, former chairperson and student regent at Bicol University Student Council, is taking up AB Political Science. We don't know if he's graduating with honors or even marching this school year, but we'll find out later on. Let's welcome Vince Joseph Vibar.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
So are you graduating with honors or are you graduating?
I'm an incoming fourth-year student, ma'am, next year.
Yes, okay. So Jed has set the standard or the bar so high for you, Vince.
Yeah,
We expect you to be not just marching, but going up the stage to receive a medal next year.
Receiving a medal is possible, but marching up to the stage I think is impossible. We have around 20,000 students, I guess. So I think that's impossible.
No, kaya mo yan. Hindi, I mean, receiving a medal.
Yeah.
Marching, malay mo, everybody might be vaccinated by then.
Hopefully.
Here's hoping. Here's hoping. So, Daniel is gonna throw the first question. Not throw talaga. So you guys catch it. Huh? Yeah. So Daniel's gonna throw the first question to our two FOI youth ambassadors.
So yung first question, light lang muna. So I would like to ask Vince first. So what are you most grateful for in being a part of the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program? So maybe as a leader, as a student, what are you most grateful for?
Well, initially po, one of the best things that I've experienced in the FOI, one thing that I have been so grateful for until this very moment is the mere fact that I had the opportunity to meet for my fellow student leaders all around the Philippines, especially the Luzon leg, and also not only increasing or expanding my network, but also somehow an informal benchmarking of their events, their activities. I think I can also adapt apart from the FOI itself. So, kumbaga, I brought home not only the concept of FOI, but also a lot of activities, events, even leadership styles and techniques that I can also implement, down to the south. That's all, ma'am.
How about you, Jed?
Most grateful for that would have to be the chance to meet them again. Because the first time that I met them was in Tagaytay. I think if you remember me, Vince, we had the National Student Leaders Summit in Tagaytay at that center noon. And that was the first time I met everyone. I met everybody, all the student leaders, student regents, student trustees, and it was a nice breath. I mean, it was a nice, fresh scene to see them again since we had so much fun in Tagaytay, and then to actually have the time again to spend with them. That was the highlight of the event for me, to be able to build a relationship between everyone, student leaders and student publication editors, I think, because that was the invitation for the FOI back then, for student leaders, student council presidents, and the student publication editors in chief, I think. So it was a nice opportunity to be with them again. That's it.
Wow, okay. Alam mo, there's so much that you can learn from the FOI Youth Ambassadors program, no? But you guys had a 3-day camp before the pandemic. You guys were lucky enough to have that physically. Okay, now which part of that program stuck with you the most, or which was your most favorite, with the exception of mealtime? Okay, recess, lunch,
The
dinner
snacks.
time. Yeah, snacks. Yeah, with the exception of that. So which were, or just one was your favorite part of that 3-day program? Jed, let's start with you.
That would have to be the presentation of the Japanese embassy, because I think I asked a question to the presenter from the Japanese embassy, and I also spoke in Japanese. That's why. So it really stuck. It really stuck with
Yeah,
me.
I remember it.
And yeah, that was a fun experience for me, since yes, that was the best. Other than the mealtime, so I had the opportunity to be proud that I know Japanese. Then I had the opportunity to ask questions about the Japanese culture, and I think they presented their program for tourism, and that was also a part of the presentation for the Department of Tourism. I think we had a video presentation also for that, and that was a nice time to showcase what we have in the Philippines and compare it to other cultures as well, especially the Japanese culture.
How about you, Vince?
Well, Jed had it, way too serious. So I'll be responding in light. So yeah, I remember the Japanese presentation, and I'll be discussing the lighter side of things. So
Go ahead.
let's start with the unforgettable first. I dance on stage for the banana dance. I will never forget that. But that one moment that struck me the most is the time when the group members were actually planning what would be the name of the group, and preparing a chant for the group, because if I remembered it correctly, I was the main person involved in drafting the drawing and also the name. So we were called the Foisy Cat. If you remember it, Jed and Ma'am Danielle,
Yeah.
we were the Foisy Cat, FOISSY and cat. So ang corny, but it left a mark, especially sa amin po. Thank you so much.
Okay, so he liked the group presentations and the presentation parts.
Yeah.
Okay, next question, Daniel.
Yeah, I would like to share it with you, Miss Jada, yung regarding sa shinare ni Jed. Because we
Mhm.
actually included in the program like some opportunities that we can share with the students. So in my case, I was Genesis. I don't know if I'm a scholar fellow on 2019. So what I did was I invited the Japanese embassy to present their scholarship programs in the youth ambassador camp. So that's what Jed was sharing. And for Vince, yeah, actually, we grouped them like in tens, and their groups are based uh, from animals. Like Jed is part of the Quacky Ducky team, and Vince was part of Foysicat. So yeah, so that's it. I just I'm just reminiscing because I had some fun in the camp too. So okay, so for the third question, so please share with us the plans that have been delivered so far, even during the pandemic, and how did that go? So did you experience any challenges, FY or non-FY related projects? So I'll start with Vince again. Yes, Vince again.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So basically, here in Bicol, we did not only experience for the pandemic, but of course, in the start of my interim term, we were struck with three consecutive typhoons. So it was a battle between an invisible enemy and also the effects of Typhoon Rolly, Ulysses, and
Yeah.
the last one. So, we faced extreme poverty in a sense, especially as a student council, because we had no funds on hand. We cannot access our bank account due to,
Wow.
restrictions. So what we did, we told ourselves we cannot remain stagnant. We have to do something. So in order to push through with our relief operations, because it was a month-long relief operations, so we had to utilize donation drives, connect with big people with our networks, and gladly I am really thankful to FOI because there are people that I met from the FOI summit which really extended their help to us. For example, Mika from Tarlac State messaged me right away. Vince, how can we help? Can we give donations
Aw.
in kind? So you know right now I feel so grateful that FOI didn't only help us intellectually, but of course, it gave us people that will be helping us not only personally but also our student councils and organizations. So gladly, that plan to help Bicolanos, solidified, not only with even though without restrictions. And the biggest challenge to end also the biggest challenge is supporting our students in this flexible learning because as a state university in Bicol, there are students who are struggling indeed for this flexible mode of learning. So we do
Mm-hmm.
need our support, may it be via load cards, may it be via gadget assistance and the likes. So far, that those are the plans that I would like to share here in which I have achieved during the term. Thank you so much.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
How are you topping that, Jed? Joke. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay,
There's
okay,
not.
okay.
There's no
Okay, let's
competition.
see.
But yeah,
Okay,
share
yeah.
share your
Okay, I get it. Okay, okay.
yeah. No, but yeah.
So the first project that I implemented as the student council president was the mental health and wellness break. That was during November, I think. So that is being also the president of the Peer Facilitators Club in our university. So we are advocates for mental health and wellness. And when I heard that students were struggling from flexible learning and the adjustment was too much for them, so I requested the university president to hold a week long mental health break for all students of the university, and that was that was fun. We received feedbacks. We even had articles written about our mental health break, and it was a nice advocacy to support, considering that within the pandemic, and considering that it is really hard for students to do the flexible learning as of the moment. And then the next one is the Project Load Support Services. We call it Project LSS, that gave
Mm-hmm.
300 pesos worth of load to all students enrolled in the university. So we held a registration for that. And then I think out of the 14,000, or roughly around 14,000 students of the university, I think 13,000 actually registered for that. So we
Wow.
funded 300 pesos worth of load to all around 13,000 students of the university. So thankfully, when I presented that to the Board of Regents, they approved it. And then when I requested it again for the second term, the approved budget was 400 pesos for all students now. So we are still waiting for, we have initially given the 600 from the first term and the second term to all students now. And now we are waiting for the other parts of the delivery so that they can get the whole 700 pesos within the time frame also. So also the next project is Project FLAP, which is Flexible Learning Assistance Program. So we procured 100 laptops and pocket Wi-Fi to be given to deserving students. So we had over 200 applicants for that, and we are in the process of selecting and distributing these laptops. But it is really hard to also distribute since they have to come to the university in physical form to actually receive it. So it's pretty hard considering that safety is our priority, and considering also that the locality is experiencing a surge of a number of cases in the locality. So we are still finding the best time when to deliver or give these laptops and pocket Wi-Fi to these 100 students. Also, we procured flash drives for all students enrolled for this term also. But again, because of the pandemic, we still have not distributed all of it. Because the first day that we decided to call for these students, madami po. Madaming pumunta. So talagang nahirapan kami to control the crowd. So when the university physician saw that the situation during that day, he suggested to halt muna, to halt the distribution muna so that we can recalibrate our strategy regarding the distribution as well. Yes, medyo substantial po siya kasi we had the wellness break on the first term, and then this second term we had two wellness breaks actually. And then we ano po yan? We made events regarding art recreations. Maybe if you saw it, you saw posts regarding our art recreations. So students had to recreate paintings and classical art. And then I think we
Wow.
had more than 10,000 shares, and it was trending on Facebook. And we're really proud of that, to spread that positivity, that kind of fun within the pandemic. And it did not limit only to our university, but it extended to all members of society, I hope. So those are the projects are that have been implemented and are still in the process of implementing.
That is so
Wow.
impressive, Jed. I'd have to
Wow.
say, okay, Vince, you have one more year.
Okay.
No
At
pressure,
least
no
He had
pressure.
no
more
pressure.
time. He had
Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
time.
No, but you got more time now. You got one more year
Yeah.
left,
Yeah.
and to be as impressive as Jed. But you're both impressive in the sense that I your resilience is admirable because even during the pandemic when everybody's not just system equipment and
Yeah.
everybody's heads and hearts are going down on a downslide, you guys were able to hold the fort and be resilient. Now I know now Jed's future plans because it's a matter of dissemination, right? For all the things that you were able to get, right? For the students and for the community in general. So my question is for Vince, what are now that you were able to execute your plans, your programs during the pandemic, what is there in the future? What are the other plans that you have?
Okay. Well, for the record, what I mentioned were two of all the projects we did actually. So
Ay,
that was
bumabawi.
yes, of course. No, just kidding. No, I just had
No,
to
no,
make it
no,
clear.
no. No, no,
Anyway,
no, it's okay.
no,
Yeah.
anyway. So, basically, I didn't run again for my second term in the student council. So what I
Mm-hmm.
did, because it's really my dream to be a founder of an organization in the university. So what I did now is to start an organization. Which, since I am an events host, a freelancer, and I love seeing students who fear public speaking and debates, etc., and the likes, transform or transcend into people who would really admire and fall in love with the craft. So just to share my next plan of action is I would like to completely have this organization accredited in the university. So I actually finished all technical requirements and such, and sharing the vision and mission of this organization, the Bicol University Hosting Guild. It is really my dream, and we can transform it into a plan that um, students of Bicol University will see hosting not just a skill or a talent, a rare skill or talent. Instead, it's a special skill that anyone and everyone can possess, because it's not. It came from a struggle as an organizer, seeing that it's difficult to see people who could really host, who could invite, and later on transforming into as a student leader, wherein you can see that there is that that lacking component in a society where you can see anyone, and you mean everyone who could, talk in front, and not only for events purposes but also inspire people via the craft itself. So I would limit my plan there. Baka nakikinig sa akin yung mga possible kung mga baka confused ng aking next plan. So I would limit it to my organization. Plug na rin sa mga possible members ng organization. As of now, I think I have over 100 members po for this newly conceived organization in
that's
Bicol
big.
University. So, what I did, yung mga student leaders who wouldn't like to run again for office, I would grab them, sige, mag-officer na kayo dito. Let's form this new organization for Bicol University. So, I hope and pray that this becomes successful, because I just don't want to be a founder by name, but of course, a founder which will, do good for the students of BU. Okay. Thank you so
That's
much.
that's really nice, Vince, because what if you're going to be an FOI youth ambassador, you really need to be a good speaker and to be able to communicate and reach out and connect with everybody out there, so that information dissemination will be not just have a vast reach, but it also has to be very clear.
Yes.
Short and sweet most of the time.
Yes.
You don't need to use so many words. So yeah, that's one thing that your organization can do for your community in Bicol. Yee!
Yes.
All right. So of course, we want to talk to you so much more, because there's so much more to discuss. You know what, siguro, Daniel, in the next season, let's ask for more airtime. But Daniel, I will ask you to jump to question number 7, because that is I want to hear their answers for that particular question, because I'm interested as to how they are gonna navigate that question.
So, okay. So, this is a serious question. Serious talaga. Okay. So, I will ask you to, as an FY ambassador, as an FY youth ambassador, how do you see the importance of institutionalizing FY in the academe? So even, for example, Jed is already graduating. I would still like to know how he sees the importance of FY in the campus. So let's start with you, Jed.
Okay. So freedom of information in the academe as an institution, I think it's pretty important, because also I failed to mention din po that we will be installing our online enrollment and learning management system in the university. So that is also one of the projects that I tried to implement during my term, but because of time constraints, parang hindi po kaya within the term. So gusto ko sana nga na noong second term sana para ma-experience ko rin, kasi ako yung nagpa-approve pero hindi ko naman pala ma-experience magamit yung online enrollment system namin. But I think that is important because it gives the institution the ability to be more public and be more transparent when it comes to what they're doing, what they plan to do. And of course, information is something that is very vital in society today. Talagang importante yung information ngayon, relevant and true information. And I think if an academic institution is a freedom of information accredited, which I tried, na-present ko na din po, I presented the proposal din po to the university president, and I think they intend to be accredited and be part of the FOI also. So those points are what it means for academic institutions to have the FOI.
Very
FY
nice, Jed.
is really about transparency, especially if you see transparency. If the university is transparent, then students and even faculties will, can just request information efficiently. And faculties, if they have any concerns, they can just go to the offices, especially if the information is made public. So yeah. So
and sana may follow through, no? Even if you're after you've graduated, even if Jed has graduated and passed the baton to the next student council president, may follow through, right?
It's continuous training. So that's what we envision naman, for the training to be continuous. So yes, so we'll hear from Vince.
I would like to respond based on a practical situation in Bicol University. When students do not see or students do not understand something, they would complain. When students do not understand what administrators or what the university would impose or would give, students would present their clamor on social media and would make noise. And
Mm-hmm.
this is where FOI would deeply and greatly benefit the academe. Not only for academic purposes, wherein because of the freedom of information, students can access data for research purposes, for their theses, for their academic workloads. But then again, going back to the very essence of governance, and it's not only for integrity, but also more importantly, transparency, because again, what we see would really make us understand our next steps. So that would help not only the student leaders, not only the students of Bicol University, but later on, even the administrators, because offices can easily access documents of other offices, and later on, not only more on benchmarking, but of course for giving feedback. That's really important because in Bicol University, speaking not only well in general as in any academe, having FOI institutionalized would really make it more peaceful. Because why did I say it will become more peaceful? Because it would actually channel in better communication. Because everything is there, everything is present, everything can be seen, can be read, and everything can be scrutinized, and that's really important, especially in a democracy. So that would be all, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You know what, Vince? You're lucky because you're gonna be there for one more year. So whoever comes next,
Yes.
you can definitely guide them, give them pieces of advice, and you can lead them to the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program.
Yes. And Miss Jada, I really agree with what Vince said that like if you don't know something, you won't be able to understand it. If you don't know it fully, you can't really do anything about it, and you
Mm-hmm.
can criticize it properly, because I was a student and
True.
I had the same experience. Like, I didn't know what's happening with the administration, and whatever information was transferred to me, I believe in it. So I really agree with what Vince said about
Mm-hmm.
transparency.
Know first the facts before you react. Yeah. Well, the youth. Well, actually, not just today's youth, but we were all young ones, and everybody went through that. You react right away without even knowing the facts. You just know one line, and then right now,
Yeah.
what the young ones do, they go to social media, right? So if we institutionalize, if we put it in the academe, they will have to take a pause, right? And find out for themselves everything that they need to know before they go on social media, or if they even have to go to social media to react violently towards a certain information.
It will also teach students how to be responsible handlers of information, because once that information is transferred to you, you should be a responsible like repository of that information. So it's your responsibility on how you will share it, if you will share it with additional information that is tainted. So yeah, FOI will also teach students like Vince and Jed how to be responsible information handlers. So,
Thank you so much, guys. You know what? This is we're already on our third episode, but second episode with youth ambassadors, right, Daniel? And
yes,
this is
on
making me feel like I was an inefficient student. Like I did not do anything when I was in school. But also at the same time, this is very inspiring. Like it gives me so much hope for our future generations. Thank you so much, guys. But before we go, I would like to say congratulations once again to Jed for graduating, for being able to
yes.
march, and for being able to go up the stage to do his inspirational speech, and of course to receive his medal. So, in that effect, Jed, shout out, because I know you have relatives from across the world, and of course, since this is an online show, they can definitely see you, watch you.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Go ahead, say shout out and whatever it is that you want to say.
Okay, mom. First of all, don't cry if you hear this message. If you see this video, don't cry, please, because she has a really low threshold for crying for her emotions. So, thank you so much for your support, even without you being physically here with me. I've always felt your love. I've always felt your support, and you're an inspiration to me. You, mom, dad, and my sister Novine. You make me sane in this pandemic right now, and your presence in my life and to my future endeavors will always be something that I always appreciate, and you will always be my inspiration, you guys. Thank you so much. I love you. I miss you so much. Bye.
Aw, thank you so much, Jed. And
Thank you
course,
for the opportunity.
yes, and congratulations once again. And how about you, Vince? Shout out to your friends there in Bicol, your family.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Anyway, I would like to say hi and hello to everyone, the Vivar, Loveres, the Vindino families, and also my relatives in Manila and all around the world also. So if you're watching this, I hope you're not disappointed with me. Well, my family, especially in Bicol, they've witnessed all the stresses that I've experienced during the pandemic, and they were the driving forces that pushed me to that run. But if I wouldn't have listened to you anyway if you pushed it. So it's a personal choice. So don't feel good about yourselves, my dear family. Anyway, I'm really thankful that you've been there since day one, and love you all so much. That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vince Uragon.
Yes,
'Cause,
Ragon.
Yeah, Uragon, yeah. I was telling Daniel a while ago, my dad's from Bicol and my
Wow.
mom's from Isabela, so I know Ilocano. And
Ragon.
well, no, not no, but I can understand a bit of Ilocano and a bit of Bicolano. So, Daniel, anything that you need to promote from the FOI Youth Ambassador once again from
Yes.
from the FOI Youth Ambassadors program?
Yes, once again. So this message is for this message is for FOI youth ambassadors. So whatever concern that you have, whatever there is anything that you help for, so please message us or please share it in our page because we'll be very lucky to help. And it's also a way for you to connect with other ambassadors as well. So yes, please message us, and I'm open for direct messages. So please tell me whatever that we can help you with. So, and I'm very proud of you too. I'm cheering on Vince. I know he can make it.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Slide into the DMs of Daniel. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jed. Thank you so much, Vince.
Thank
It's
you,
been a
pa.
Thank you.
wonderful, evening of conversation with the both of you. And Daniel, I will see you in the next episode.
Yes, I will see you.
All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode of Young Ones Season 2. Don't forget, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Young Ones PH, Young Ones Philippines. And of course, always tune in to 875 Republika FM1.
The Radio Republic of the Youth, Republika FM1 brings you Young Ones Season 2 in partnership with Freedom of Information Philippines and the FOI Youth Ambassadors Program. Young Ones. Wednesday nights only on Republicast, on Republika FM1 Facebook page, Spotify, and YouTube.